everyone. Start of the week. I believe it is Monday. Welcome back. Welcome. I think I streamed yesterday. Talked about the PulseChain faucet. If you haven't checked that out, let me know if you're interested or haven't heard about that yet. I've tweeted. I've streamed. I have working on it a little bit here and there, trying some new features and otherwise to make sure it gets used rather than abused. That's been fun, just to see how people are using it and be like, oh, okay, interesting. Tweak this, tweak that. Should be fun. But anyways, this stream, I'm not sure if it's going to be me or other people joining. I originally had Corey and Money Gang and maybe another Brit joining, but I think Corey, I'm not sure if Corey's going to be able to make it. Something came up there, and we'll see about see if the other two will be able to join or one of them. We'll see. But anyways, we're going to have a good time. It's going to be a good stream. Probably a shorter one. Probably go for a little bit, but got some cool stuff to talk about. I'll say that. I am excited to get into the topics, whether it's just me riffing on them or me in the chat riffing on them. We may riff a little bit of riffing, positivity riffing. Anyways, I'll get to chat in just a minute, but let me pull this up while we have it here. If you missed this the other day, that happened. So yeah, it was like 3 days in a row. Pretty sure it was 3 days. Pretty sure the first time, a few days ago, I was like, whoa, got that. The whale's back buying PulseX and I think some Pulse and stuff too. And then the day after that, I'm pretty sure I tweeted again. I got some more, got some more alerts and stuff and saw some more movement. It's like, oh, there's some more happening. And then was it yesterday? Yeah, yesterday. I saw some more stuff come up and I'm like, okay, interesting. 3 days in a row. 3 days in a row we had some well buys there. I'll just click on the link real quick. I'll put this in the chat. Not yet. I certainly will now. So, a little bit of just a little bit of movement here and there. But this wallet definitely seems active again, at least for the last few days. So a lot of these been grayed out because scam transaction stuff. But I'm not sure if these are swap tokens for supporting a fee transaction. Yeah, I'm not sure. It look like interactions on PulseX, but I don't know exactly what that function does. I haven't looked into it, but I'm trying to go back to the last interactions of buying, a little bit down here, and we scroll. Transactions, just other stuff too. Yeah, so here we go. Yeah, so 20K die clips right there. I think there's a few more as well, but this is not some people may feel underwhelmed. You may be sitting around like, oh, is that it? Where's the fireworks? Where's the show? Where's the billions of dollars? And I don't know. I think it's interesting. I think it's fun to see some movement. I think, you could speculate on why, what for. Will we see more of these and what will they look like? For example, some people speculate is to keep the ratio in a certain range from PulseX to Pulse. And you can see what happened. And we got a ton of those green candles, all of those buys to push it up here, just around, just above 0.47. And then kind of came back down a little bit. We got the more buys, pushed it back up around 0.06. And it looks like that's kind of at least where it went the last 2 or 3 times. Maybe that's the direction of the range, not falling below 0.46. At least that was the current strategy. It did dip below that. You can't see around the chart, but I wonder how long it was actually below that. It's amazing. I'm always interested too to see. I can just imagine the simulations that RH, the devs, the whales who interact on the chain and otherwise. I can imagine the different simulations and stuff they're running just to really master and map out all the different liquidity scenarios on PulseChain. And the whales know how to move price and when ready. I'm excited. I hope we show crypto something it's truly never seen before. However that gets built up, whether it's this, however the liquidity happens and the buys are set up or, in whatever way, I think that's the most obvious scenario, at least. Obviously nothing's certain, but I think the most obvious scenario is, the Ethereum. We talked about this a million times. Ethereum ETF, number go up, money comes to the ecosystem, and it's not this. It doesn't have to be this. Oh, it just comes in, starts buying everything, and it's just out in a few days or weeks or months or something like that. It could be set up again. Why would that seems like such a pedestrian way of doing it, right? Like, it could totally work, could do some good things, but if you want an ecosystem to last and you want it to be, you want to bring people in, you're going to bring them in just to, buy and then speculate and dump their coins and leave? Or do you want to bring them in because they saw something they've never seen before? They say, wow, you can't get this on Solana. Nobody on Ethereum is doing moves like this. Why wouldn't I want to bring my capital here and, or build here or otherwise and see it appreciate? So that's the cool thing. Again, I think it's really easy to just, I don't know, not believe that there's more of a mission than just like playing around or something. Or, it's easy to get bored and be like, oh, is that it? Like, wake me up when something fun happens. But it's like, I don't know. Some of these moves are interesting. Not a lot else going on as far as, price action goes. So when something like this does happen, who knows? Maybe in retrospect, to look back and be like, oh, that's so obvious. Now that we, seen the end result, whether that's glory or otherwise, look back and be like, oh, it all makes sense. It all just comes together. Why, the ratio, it was good for it to be this way, or why what this was, what the clips actually did. To me, it's not as important that they keep the price up. I don't think that's what they're for. Honestly, I mean, I think that's all what we want them to be for, right? We all want we want the whales to come in, buy stuff, hold the price up, and then more people come in and keep going like that. I don't know. I don't think I think there's a lot smarter people, or a lot of smart people, I'll say, who have already thought about a lot of stuff. And it's not, to me, it isn't the, just trying to pump the price and make it go up. To me, I look at it as just testing or just, facilitating the ratios. And I have, again, no expectations. Like, naturally, I have no expectations that it's going to be like, oh, it's just going to keep coming in and this is how it's going to be. We're never going to go below a certain point because there's always going to be these wells or otherwise putting capital in. That just doesn't seem like the MO of the mission of this ecosystem. So I think it's all for a purpose. Is it all as effective as the wells want it to be? Who knows? Is it all, these things are fluid. It's not like there's like one plan and the plan has to work and it has to work, not. It's like one of those, again, I'm just imagining if being a part of something that was designed to be this, to be such a big impact on the ecosystem, I don't think there's a right or wrong answer. There's not like a pass or fail. I think the bar is very flexible. I'll say that. It's kind of like you can test stuff, see how the market reacts, keep the ratios in line with they match up with whatever is planned in the future and stuff like that. But it's not like, oh, we put money in and people didn't buy, so it didn't work. I don't think it didn't work. Like, nobody knows what working means. Like, this could literally just be like, now the ratio is back. So that's cool. So don't know the mission, don't know the plan, don't know what success, failure, and all that stuff looks like. I mean, I guess the bar for failure is like, does this thing just go nowhere for the next few years? Like, maybe that's the bar, but I certainly don't think it's capital got injected and everyone didn't rush in to buy and it wasn't enough for that sort of thing. It's not the way I look at it. So I think there's plenty of fun stuff, plenty of stuff we just have no idea about. That, I mean, again, you kind of got to believe that there is more than what you see on the surface. And if you only evaluate what you see on the surface, then I think that's only part of the story. That could be, always reminds me of Rich in documentary talking about. I was thinking about this. I wanted to find the clip, but actually, I don't think he actually said this time is different. But he said, how do you say it? He said it in a way of like, everyone in the world will tell you that something, but in this you'll actually, man, I can't remember how he said it. It was basically, the gist was like, this time is different. Like, I know every person in the world will tell you that, I don't know if you're going to get rich or something, but this time, the crazy Lindbergh, all that stuff. Anyways, the point being, always remember at least the way that he said it of like, yeah, this time is actually different. Like this is the one thing where you don't want to underestimate what this guy's about. So that always stuck with me. I always thought that was cool and pretty cool reference point. A lot of good parts in the documentary, but I thought that was something that I really thought described what a lot of people are missing and what nobody wants to believe when you get into, you could say if you get discouraged, or I don't even want to say depressed, just discouraged from time to time about whatever you thought was going to happen didn't happen on that time frame. I think looking at some of the things that, again, the documentary is pretty cool, pretty bullish, I would say, pretty inspiring in a lot of ways. I think there's just little bits and pieces throughout time. Richard tweeted today about persistence. I thought that was really cool. His favorite quote, I remember, and also just a fantastic quote in general. And yeah, maybe I'll pull that too. That was pretty interesting. Oh, I haven't got to chat yet, but Hans is from High Strix Trailer. Yeah, somebody let me know the quote. If anybody wants to put the quote in the chat, I tried to find it the other day, but whatever it was, either I elaborated on it or it said something that I couldn't find before. But I swear I went through the trailer and I couldn't find an exact piece that I thought I remembered it being, but it was close enough. I'll say that. What's up, Fox Modder? How's it going, man? Red Squirrel, first or fifth? What do you want to be today? You want to be first or fifth? I'll let you choose. Urban Productions, almost certain BTC people going to ETH. That's what we're all hoping, right? That's when we get to. I got a poll. I'll bring up the poll in a minute, but that's what we're hoping. It goes into ETH. If you either hold ETH or hold things you think are leverage on ETH, that is the common thinking. Hexclips, I appreciate that. Hexclips, thank you very much. Red everywhere. I don't know. Honestly, I don't know. I have not looked at the charts of pretty much anything. I think I just looked at the charts of PulseX just to see, if anything, if it went up any more or otherwise. But I really don't know. And it feels good. Feels good to not even care about the price chart from time to time. Every once in a while, I'll be like, I'll check it more often. But I've said it before, like, why are you checking price chart? You either want to buy, you want to sell, or you got leverage. Those are the only three reasons I can think of why the price chart is important, other than wanting to swing your sentiment and how you're feeling about a project or something backwards or forward based on a price chart. But the only legit reasons that are, let's say legit, the most actionable reasons, buying, selling, or checking a leverage position to see if you need data to make a decision. Other than that, why would I look at price chart? I don't do those things very often. So feels good not to look at price charts. Beyond all, I think this whale knows something about current crypto dump. Started buying to protect this and support levels for a while. Yeah, could be. I'm going to see. It'd be interesting to see what Bitcoin does. And again, it's just I'll save this. I'll save my commentary for a minute when I bring it up. But yeah, it's going to be interesting to see about Bitcoin, all these events coming up. I'll get into it in just a few minutes. Fox, nice. Alex Santos, how's it going, man? Appreciate that. The Chad of Muscles and 369 packs have entered the chat. How's it going, Chad? Thanks from early trade. You know what? If anyone could find that, tag me on Twitter. Otherwise, I watched a couple trailers and I was like, man, I know it's in here. I thought I heard that, but I would love to clip that and just be like, oh, that was like a very powerful footage they had. All right. Take fifth today. Fifth is yours, Red Squirrel. Fifth is yours. Just skip around here for a minute. Expire one sack wallet buy, PulseX, another sack wallet, selling multiple 1.5 and what? Only good news, sir. Oh yeah, that was interesting. So yeah, that was interesting. I don't have, what was that? So dip catcher. No, I mean, it's not just about good news. It was just, actually didn't know. I didn't even see that until I heard about it. And at the top of my head, I don't have all the stuff. But that was interesting, I'll say. again, I don't have all the details in front of me to talk about it, but there was, from what I've seen reported at least, so the PulseX had, a bunch of the buys. I don't know what the total buys was. I feel like it was over 1 million or so. And then there was some Pulse sales. And again, I don't want to comment. I don't know all the facts, but yeah, I'm not sure. But there was some Pulse sales. But then when I was thinking about it, I briefly looked at it and I was like, I wonder if that was for the ratio too. And again, if they exited or whatever they did with it afterwards, I don't know. But even if they did, like, who cares? Maybe whoever sold it needed it or something. I'm not too concerned about 1.5 million. Like, if it was like 20 or 30 million, that'd be a different story. But I was thinking, because if this was, we're looking at the ratio, if this was to balance the ratios, then, maybe some of the buys and sells made more sense with that in that realm, or maybe it doesn't. Maybe none of it makes sense. Maybe we can't, what if there's not a positive explanation for all this stuff? Like, I don't know. To me, it's like, I just don't care. If it was 20, 30, $50 million that left the ecosystem, I'm sure we'd have a lot more commentary and a lot more talking about it, but I don't know. I don't try to look at anyone making moves, and especially if it's benevolent whales, if I believe they're benevolent whales, I don't try to look at it and be like, they must be doing something bad. Like, I try to look at it and be like, okay, on the surface, if it looks, if it's not like this huge buys all the time, if it's other moves and trades and sales or otherwise, I try to think, okay, well, yeah, maybe we don't have all the data, so maybe there is something. I can't just turn it into, benevolent whales just exiting the ecosystem if something were to happen like that. Again, unless there's just massive, like, multi-million-dollar stuff, and you're just like, okay, this is not explainable. There's no plan. There's no, like, legit way I can think of this as me not having all the information type thing. So anyways, yeah, DivCatch does a lot of great analysis for this stuff. And I think Goldkey had a tweet on it as well. I just started yeah. I know. I mean, it's fun to talk about from time to time, but I just I guess it's not that I only want to talk about good news, but I just don't see that as bad news either. It's not like, I think under different circumstances and different, dollar amounts, that, yeah, I don't know. I haven't heard all the commentary of how that affects the ratios, or how that could be part of another plan, or, again, whatever. Whales can do whatever they want to do. They want to sell some Pulse. They want to sell some X. They want to sell whatever it is. We have a blockchain. People have access to funds on it, and they do whatever they want. I just happen to believe that what I've seen benevolent actors do on a blockchain, I tend to give them benefit of the doubt that perhaps we just don't have all the information for all that stuff. Yesterday, did you around to agree with him? Yeah, I watched a few minutes of that today. I haven't got to watch much of it. Yeah, I saw they did a stream though, about all the moves. Made me really feel like I don't own enough Hex and PulseX. There you go. Maybe they had some interesting commentary and analysis for why some of this stuff happened. So could be. Go our tweet. Yeah. Yep. I did get distracted. I will pull that up too. That. Yeah, there's not a lot of tweets. I mean, he tweets from time to time, but every once in a while he'll tweet something that I think is even more interesting. Also, he talked about the Ethereum flip Bitcoin this year. Like, I think we're all going to be more like zoned in when the price starts going up. We're like, oh yeah, we're gonna everything RH tweets. Yeah, retweet it. Like, I'm gonna be doing streams on it. But right now, it's kind of like, yeah, there's some that are, I don't know. Every time I don't pay attention to some of them enough, I feel like I look back and like, oh, wow, that kind of like, that was so obvious now. Putting the pieces together. So sometimes he does drop some gems. I'll say that. But anyway, shout out to Richard. Hope you're doing well, man. The reason I've been a winner my whole life, I'll get back to chat in just a minute. The reason I've been a winner my whole life is because while everyone else is broken and crying, demoralized, whining, begging, and acting butthurt in public, having lost all self-respect, I just keep doing the best I can. It usually works out. Don't be a loser. Be persistent. And then he quotes the quote from Calvin Coolidge: "Nothing in this world can take the place of persistence. Talent will not. Nothing is more common than unsuccessful men with talent. Genius will not. Unrewarded genius is almost a proverb. Education will not. The world is full of educated derelicts. Persistence and determination alone are omnipotent. The slogan 'Press On' has solved and always will solve the problems of the human race." Persistence. Great quote. That's why, I'm not betting against Richard Hart. Like, I know his mission. I've seen enough to think that he's got a lot of good ideals. RHMax for his ideals. Don't agree with him on everything, but for the most part, I think I do, and I think that he wants to be one of the best people in the world and have the biggest positive impact he possibly can. And to me, that's worth supporting and promoting and like sticking with, being persistent with in the up times and the down times, and been following Richard for 7 years now, 4Hex, all that stuff. So now he posted charts recently too. Did he post against PLS? PLS is down 79%, 108 days. Is that when the first 108 days? Was that March when everything started going down? Wow, this is the first time I've seen him write a down tweet. Usually it's like, oh, this is up against all this stuff. I don't know. Everyone's like, is this the bottom? Every time something happens, any kind of bearish news, people are like, is this the bottom? It's like, I don't know. Oh, he's talking about Bitcoin too. Bitcoin is down 17%. That's when we talked about Ethereum yesterday. Very interesting. That's actually more interesting than the other ones to me. We actually talked about PLS being down. It's like Richard looks at TradingView. Well, it's always fun to see famous people and stuff use the different what tools they use and how they look at things and how they chart, all that. Here are the Hex Inc. PLSX charts against PLS and the PLS stat chart. PLS is down 79% in 108 days. Is that the last one? Yeah, versus DAI. Yeah. All right. I don't know. Do we have a chart of every time Richard posts a chart? What happens after that? Is this just bullish or bearish? Chat, let me know. Is this bullish or bearish? Have we went through enough shakeout? Is it up? Is it uptime? Uptime. Is it 100% uptime? You want to remember the 100% uptime show I used to do? I'll probably do one again. Probably last one I did was with GIF a couple months ago or so. Probably do one again sometime. Yeah, as far as altcoins and stuff go, I'm trying to get to other questions, to the cores and all that stuff. Unless I've, talked about it before and all that. I know a lot of people like PDI and otherwise, but I hope all the PulseChain alts do really well. But I just don't have a lot of commentary on many of them. PulseChain to the moon, boys, get on the train. It's been rough since going to RHMax in September 2022. Well, Cody Polly 68. May you have the maddest of gains. Hopefully you're doing okay. Everyone's bags are down, but hopefully RH ecosystem goes up, and that hopefully in a few months or a year from now, the inverted comment it'll be, it's been amazing since, buying all the dips. Not saying you need to buy any dips, not financial advice to anyone, but it's been amazing since getting an RH since September 2022. There were a lot of ups and downs, but man, I'm glad we got the glory. Maybe we'll see that. Hopefully we do. There you go. Hang on, Cody. For real, we got this. At least you got ecosystem. You got content. You got streamers. You got people. I mean, Twitter's kind of got to curate things there, at least for me. Got some positive people. You got plenty of positive people though too. Say you don't agree with everything. What don't you agree on? I did a whole stream called "Was Richard Hart Wrong?" I think that's what it's called. That's what comes to mind. If you just type in RHMax, Richard Hart, I did AMAs. I've talked about before different things that I'm like, I don't think apply to everything. So I don't know. I don't want to get into like all the different things, but there's just little things here and there. I think, even with Scivive, there's a lot of things that apply in certain scenarios, but otherwise, like I don't generally apply everything Richard says, and even from, books or otherwise. I think, I don't generally apply it to everything. I think there's certain situations where it works better and worse. So I just think that, and things change over time. There's some things that are evergreen content and last forever, and they're that way. But, Richard used to be a Bitcoin maxi. I was watching when he was Bitcoin maxi. I remember when he just literally, I got onboarded by disagreeing with Richard. There you go. That's probably at least one example of, my onboarding story. I've put it a few times, but it's onboarding to Richard, not Hex, because Hex didn't exist. But it was, by the way, to give you a list of a lot of things I don't agree on or don't fully agree on, I would have to get some time to come up with that. I'd want to have like a conversation with somebody about it, just so I could bounce some ideas and stuff too. I think it'd be more interesting like that. So I'll just give you this for now. Onboarding was, I was at a party and friends like, hey, have you heard of Richard Hart? This guy. And I'm like, no, who's this? I went into it, watched his stuff. And then the same guy I went to, or I hung out with again. And he was like, oh, did you hear, we were talking about Ethereum. And he's like, oh, did you hear what Richard said about Ethereum? It's got all this attack surface and, it's just, I don't know, he probably said insecure, all this stuff. I mean, he has all kinds of videos and talking about that. I literally just watched a stream, a really old stream about him. Didn't he I think he wrote a blog post about how Bitcoin is more secure than Ethereum in certain ways. And now it's kind of like, Ethereum is superior. Anyways, the point is, when he said, I remember when the friend told me that he, what about Ethereum? What, Rich said it's got all this attack surface and, insecure, whatever it was. And I was like, really? I don't know. I mean, not being an Ethereum expert back then, but just as a tech guy, I was like, I mean, it's the world computer. It's smart contract stuff. Of course, you can write better, worse smart contracts. But even then, did you ever hear Richard talk about that again? If anything, he talked about him changing his mind about all that stuff. So anyways, there's some things that I don't think apply. I mean, of course, he has some points on different stuff, but I don't think it applies generally. Like talking about scams too. I'll say this one thing where, I keep looking at the trending thing. I'm like, what do these 4 things have to do with anything? How do these get curated? My feed. Was there any control over this? Anyways, it talks about risk diode and about how not to talk about scams. I may have more conversations with people, especially anyone reading. If you read Scivive or you've heard Richard talk about it otherwise. The risk diode thing, I think, works in certain contexts about basically ghosting scams and just not giving them breath to live on and all that stuff. But sometimes it can just be, I think, at least my theory when I think about it is, it can be either not as effective, or you can even have more ROI in a subtle way, describing something but not saying the name, or even saying the name but doing it in a way where it's obviously going to help people not get scammed instead of saying scammed. So whatever, everyone has their opinion. But I think that's one of the ideas where, I mean, it's a really cool idea. I like it. And I think it applies in a lot of different ways. But I don't think it's 100% effective in every situation. I think some situations it is more effective, at least what I think, to describe it. Like I did the Amazon scam video the other day about they had this Amazon crypto thing, and I was pretty careful not to like lead people on how to get there to it, but also I wanted to show them what it looked like. And I got comments too, people saying, "Oh, thanking me," or otherwise saying like, "Oh, I was going to get into that, but now I know it's a scam." And like, I think it really helped. I hope. I mean, it sounds like it helped at least a few people. Watch out for that type of stuff because it was very, very easy to fall for. I mean, it was very hard to determine that it wasn't legit, that kind of thing, unless you know tech and kind of go through this stuff. So yeah, there's some ideas that I just don't think apply generally. And I don't know if we asked him today about some of the stuff, he probably, who knows, like maybe he'd be like, yeah, I've changed my mind on this, or I think there's a better way for this, or yeah, maybe this doesn't apply to everything. And I think when you're trying to popularize ideas, it's more effective to speak very generally. His whole, I'll go through Richard's greatest hits, go through all the ideas he's popularized, not your keys, not your coins. I mean, all this stuff is like, yeah, but how do you onboard the entire crypto without people having centralized exchanges? There's like spectrums to this stuff, right? It's not like not your keys, not your coins is like, it's not like the world's gonna be a better place, practically speaking, if we could just like snap our fingers. And I guess it would be better if everyone held their keys and coins. My point being, if we rail against that and we just alienate the other 200 million people who aren't going to do that anytime soon, then we can't get them into crypto. That's why, centralized exchanges exist and stuff, right? Because we haven't trained people to be good enough to use DeFi in order to do that. So it's not like tomorrow, if you snap your fingers and all the centralized exchanges go down, well, okay, well, now most of the people don't have access and can't even learn about DeFi. So, but of course, not trusting systems with your money and all the FTX failures and Celsius and all that stuff. Those obviously getting people to not do that because of unsustainable yield and centralized counterparties and losing their money. It applies to that stuff for sure. But it's not like I wouldn't apply that to the entire space altogether, because there's got to be, at least as of today, we got to get money in and out. There's got to be some kind of on-ramps. And there's just better and worse ones. I mean, even stablecoins in general, you could apply that to. Like some have no counterparties, some have some. There's various degrees of risk. You tolerate a certain bit in order to make the economy keep moving. There's spectrums and all that stuff. So I just don't think black and white on most things. And so it's easy to take some of these generalized statements and just apply them and just be like, well, that just literally doesn't work because it's just not practical. But if you apply it in certain circumstances, it can be useful. And that's where I want to do it. So, but I agree with them on almost everything. Just a few things I would tweak here and there. But a lot of great ideas for sure. All right, said I wasn't going to go into it, but I went into a couple examples there. So got your questions worth on that, hopefully. Crypto Zaddy. He also said bullish. He ain't bragging this time. Oh, that's funny. Payless launch, Hex split PHEX lawsuit. I mean, perfect storm. There's a lot of different events that took us down, but I wonder if that'll be the opposite staircase back up too. We'll start seeing more positive events. Yeah. It's reading Fox's comment. I'm not sure, Fox. I'm not sure. Anyways. All right. That's the commentary you wanted, right? I'm about to wrap up here in a minute. Well, I'll go for a few more minutes. You guys got some questions? Let me know. Good question in the chat so far too. Let's see. You guys want some bullish stuff? You guys want some funny and bullish stuff? How about that? Let's do that before we wrap up. Did a poll the other day. Will PulseChain melt faces? Got your bull hats on? Moo, as our friend Tommy says. Shout out to Tommy. Will PulseChain melt faces? Now, regardless of the sentiment you may see out there, a lot of people clicked yes on this button. A lot more people, well, a lot compared to the poll, whoever voted. A lot less people clicked no. So even though you see people upset or frustrated or mad or sad or whatever on Twitter and back and forth, and maybe they're not active or engaging as much, a lot of people still think PulseChain going to do well. So it's not always kind of like, that's why I like polls like this too. People can they don't have to publicly say things. They can just click in the poll and you can get information kind of like, instead of like, the pressure on people to say things because of their account or whatever, you can be like, yeah, just click the button. Like, we don't see who clicked each button, right? We just see the results of the poll. And overwhelmingly, that's a lot of people who, yeah, right? Crypto's adding impressive poll sentiment is also exactly right. I was surprised too. I was like, you know what? I mean, I wasn't that surprised. Like, of course, who knows? Like, do people really believe this, or they just want to believe it? Right? You can say that too. Like, people just want there to be yes. If they click no, then I feel like they're not helping their bags, I guess. And also the whole social effect of, even if somebody doesn't believe one way or another, if they want that answer to succeed, they could vote that way in order to show other people. So it's like this, social effect of like, oh, but everyone else said yes, and then everyone wants to keep saying in the direction that they want to see, type of thing. Kind of. What about PulseChain melt face or melt pockets? Is that the next poll you want me to do? Will PulseChain melt faces or melt pockets? I think the pockets have already been melted a little bit. If we're gonna use that way of describing it. So once you melt the pockets, does it just go up from there? You melt the face eventually. Is that the train? That's the train we're on. All right, I just want to throw that out there. Not that you can vote. Voting's already over, but that was fun. And then this one, you guys got to give me some answers on this. This is an engaging tweet. What do you guys think? Who you got? Which billionaire would you most like to have lunch? You don't have to say Richard either if you don't want. You can say somebody else. Surprised, most people did not say Taylor Swift. They did not say her. Most of them, I think even a few of the comments were not her. They went out of their way to say not her. So, I guess we didn't describe what kind of lunch it would be with, if it would be, just a talk, or, if there was some sort of relationship that could, if you had a chance, if you're that kind of thing. So Elon, to me, I took it as who I'd want to like have an hour to ask questions about and like chat with and just kind of hang out with. To me, it's between Elon and Richard. I'm going to go Richard, obviously, but it's pretty close. I like to talk to Elon. He's pretty cool. I like Elon Musk. And you got Trump in there. You got Bezos. All interesting people in their own right. Whether you like them or don't like them, it's like they all have this really unique experience for stuff. But what do y'all got? Only comment I have so far is from Caparongos. Drinking them tears of haters. It's not that kind of meme. It's more of a who you want to have lunch with. But it kind of cracks me up when you say it. Nice. Yeah, I'm gonna go Richard. I'm gonna go. All right, let's do this. Let's rank. I'm gonna say of my choices. Somebody can't make it. Who's gonna be next? I'm gonna go 2, 1. Oh man, I'm really trying to pick between Trump and Bezos here. I don't know. Man, I wouldn't mind having lunch with Taylor. Again, I don't have to like these people or not, but like I don't have a huge problem with Taylor Swift. It's like I'm just pretty neutral. I'm like, I just don't care. Oprah too. I just whatever. I'm sure that they have some interesting stories and stuff, but I'm going 2, 1. if I go 214, now I got to pick between Bezos, Oprah, and Taylor. All right, you guys help me with that. I'm going to pick the first three, and you all pick the last three. Give me some numbers in the chat. You got 3, 5, and 6. You tell me the last three that you'd want Max to have lunch with. You want me to have lunch with? Tell me. I'm going for the first three. I'm going 2, 1, 4. So you guys tell me. 3, 5, 6. Put them in order for me. Put them in the chat. Come on. Put them in the chat. Chat, engage. Engage, chat. Engage. No Fox Mulder. You did. 2, 1, 4, 6. I don't know if you're telling yours or telling mine. I'm going to go with you're telling yours. I mean, you left Oprah entirely off. Gotta pick. You gotta at least put her last or something like that. What do you think? Hexfire, I would choose you, Max. Appreciate that. Why did you drop RH from name tag? I didn't drop RH. I've always just wanted to go by Max. It's just more of a regular name than like RHMax. Literally, people call me RHMax, and I'm like, I feel like you're just saying you're saying the channel. The channel is RHMax. But the name, again, with like, Max, just Max. I just feel like RHMax is just like a mouthful, right? And it's the channel name. I kind of just want to go Max, and then my handle's at RHMaximal. So I didn't ever drop it. I don't think. Did I ever have it? I don't think I ever had it at RHMax on Twitter. I think I always had it as Max, or maybe for a short period of time when I first started, because I wanted to be like, just Max, simple, right? All right, chat is heated up. 624, you're going Taylor. Okay, so it'd be Richard, Elon, Trump, and then you would like to see Taylor. Hold on, I've already picked Richard. Okay, did everyone hear the rules? I'm picking the first three. So I've already picked 2, 1, 4. I've already picked these in order, 2, 1, 4. And then you all got to pick for me, if those three people weren't available, the next three people in line that I would have a chance to have lunch with by priority. You got to pick from 3, 5, 6. If there is any 2 in your answer, it is not correct. And all these answers have 2s in them. Is there like a 10-minute delay in this conversation? Maybe, you know what? I do that sometimes on streams. Sometimes I'll be watching the live stream and then I'll pause and then I'll come back and I'll just listen to it from there. So the chat and the stream won't be in sync, but because I want to hear what they said from there, but I know it's not up to date. Is that what you guys are doing? You like paused it a while back and now you're like catching up. Let's see. Do any of these answers have, I appreciate you giving me answers. It's just not quite, I can't quite use all the pieces here. So let's see. Alex Santos, Beyond All. So 4. I'm just going to assume the last 3. 4, 3, 6. No, I can't. Alex just gives one answer. 5. You guys are cracking me up. No worries. 2, 4, 1. All right. You know what? Forget it. Everyone just give me their answer, because I think it's what everyone's doing anyways. It reminds me of the Bill O'Reilly. Screw it. We're doing it live. I'm like, screw it. I'm just going to take everyone else's answers. 5, 5, 5, 5. 6, 5, 3. Did that actually? 6, 5. Okay. This one, I can take the last 3. Christopher Freeman. Appreciate that. I'm just going to go with this. I don't know if you meant it for me or for you. Probably for you, but I'm going to take it for me because it actually applies. So mine is 2, 1, 4. So Richard, Elon, Trump, and then you would pick for me 6, 5, 3. So Taylor, Jeff, Oprah. Okay. That's a combination. Yeah. Yeah, could go there. Only number 6 though, and try to raise ones or endorse Trump. That's actually an interesting play. That's actually an interesting play. That could, I mean, of all the people there, okay, that's a good question. Of all the people there, which one would have the most influence? Well, I mean, shoot, I'm going with Elon in that because he could tell everyone to, I mean, well, actually, he's the least, but he's also the least one you probably need to convince, right? He's probably already, you know, I'm going to guess he's leaning that way. Yeah, I guess of the people here that has the most influence and probably would need the most convincing. Yeah, it could be Taylor. Could be Taylor in that. Big boy Grimes going to lunch with 3 and 6. I respect all your choices. I mean, if you want to, I guess it depends. Like, you know, if you want to go out to lunch with you know, good looking women, there's only 2 good looking women on this available on this list here. So there's that. Do you want to go out and have a conversation with another guy, assuming you're a guy, or do you want to go out chat with a lady? You know, could be good too. What are you going to learn from Taylor Swift? Trailers. Did you say Taylor Swift on purpose? Question. Well, that's the point. What could you learn? It's not that you may not want to go. It could be, you know, you could just want to like see if you got a shot. If you're single, maybe you have a shot, you know, with one of them. There you go. Could be that. So could be different intentions. You go there to learn. You go there to just you know, see if you can impress Taylor or Oprah. And there, you never know, you know. All right. See, I told you it'd be fun. That was fun. I like that. Anyways, important dates coming up. I got to wrap up here. Important dates. By the way, yeah, before it was Bill, I replaced Bill with Richard. So thought that worked. I had to replace somebody. I'm like, yeah, it's just, and I kind of want him to be up top too. So why not? So important dates coming up. We got the U.S. presidential debate on June 27th, this Thursday. So we'll get to see which one falls asleep first, or what happens there. Should be entertaining. I would say I feel like it's either gonna be boring, or it's gonna be wildly entertaining. I don't feel like it's gonna be. I don't know. I saw Trump on the All In podcast. I finished watching it today. He seemed pretty tempered, I would say. So I don't know. Will we see a different one from 2016? We'll see. But they're both pretty old. So we'll see which one steps it up during the debate, makes some good points, changes some minds, or confirms some opinions. We'll see. Should be interesting. Does one of them start shouting out crypto and no, I'm the more crypto president. No, I would be the more crypto president. No, I'm going to be the more crypto president. Like they're going to be fighting over crypto during this debate. Like that could be interesting too. We'll see. So president's debate the 27th, and then we got the speculation on July 2nd for the Ethereum ETF. And then, so we'll see. Don't know. Just the date that keeps floating around. I don't know if that's actually a confirmed date. You know, it could be a rumor based on what, I'm not sure. But a lot of people seem to believe it could be early July. You got and then the Bitcoin. Let's see. Let's go to Twitter real quick. You got so we got the repayments for the Mt. Gox Bitcoin stuff beginning of July 2024, coinciding with the ETH ETF speculation. That's pretty interesting. And then we got the Richard SEC update on July 8th. That's another date people have been talking about. I think the SEC's response is due to the motion to dismiss on that time. So who knows? I feel like part of me is like, man, I hope that's just like a pivotal thing where they just drop the case. But other part of me is like, you know, what's the chance of that happening? I certainly hope so, but I'm not going to get my hopes up. But that would be cool. Again, I don't think it's anything to get excited over. We can all dream that it all just, that's the date where everything just turns around. And, you know, what if we go up only? All that stuff. That should be fun. So, and what else? What else is going on? else going on? What do you guys? Anything else? July. Also, poll here. Feel free. I mean, that was a big part of the BTC and ETH stuff too. Feel free to answer the poll. Let me know in the chat. That's what we'll wrap up on here. If Bitcoin starts dumping in July, does it go into the Ethereum ETF? 140K Bitcoin repayment. Somebody on here also said, see, that's the thing. Can somebody tell me this? I haven't got an answer on it. This guy says Mt. Gox payout is $500 per Bitcoin. Are they getting paid in the dollar value of the coins back then in Bitcoin or dollars, or are they getting paid in the actual coins? They actually have the coins? Because I thought this was like they had the coins. So I haven't got an answer yet. Still, if it is $500 per Bitcoin, the math comes out to around 70 million, 140K times 500. So still quite a bit, but it is different. I mean, I think it'd be much more if it was returning 1-to-1. Anyone have any information on that? I haven't got an answer, and I haven't heard any more about it. So I'm not sure. But anyways, give me an answer to this poll. Chat, we'll wrap up on this. Come on. You've been engaging. You guys have been great. Yes or no? If you think Bitcoin starts dumping in July, does it go into the ETH ETF? Yes or no? Give me an answer. First one who gives me an answer gets me to share the answer on my screen. Click the button, and we get to see the results of the poll. Yeah, so you think it is Urban Productions? You think it is? They actually paying dollar per coin back then? I was thinking, I just assumed they had the coins, like that. Maybe I'm missing something in Mt. Gox story. Did they not collect the coins at some point, or get them back, or put them together, or was it literally was this always the dollar value? If it's always dollar value, then $500 a coin, $1,000 per coin, $2,000. It's always going to be less than what it would be the value today, where they could dump if they actually had the Bitcoin type of thing. So, but again, we got the ETFs. Maybe there's a lot of liquidity to soak it up, where this would be a much bigger deal than it would be a year ago before we had ETFs. Yeah, I'm not sure. Nodbot is in. Is that a no? I'm going to go with it. I'm going to go with no. All right. 60% so far. Only got 73 votes. We got some more time, but 60% say yes. If it starts dumping in July, I mean, it's already dumped a little bit now, but it starts dumping in July, it does go in the ETF. I hope that perfect storm plays out. I certainly do. That would be cool. All right. That's all I got right now. Got to end it here. Yeah. Let's see. I don't think it's dollar value percentage recovery. Percentage recovery. Okay. So yeah, if it isn't 1-to-1, maybe, I don't know. I mean, 70 million. I mean, who knows? That seems like it would be a lot different. And MoneyGate Crypto's here.
Yo, how's it going, man?
Didn't get the times mixed up at all.
Say again, sorry.
So this doesn't seem to be a thing where the times were mixed up, does it?
Given that you've been live for 54 minutes, yeah, because I thought that was. Oh, sorry, man.
No worries.
Okay, I thought it was anyway, whatever. I thought it was 10 o'clock my time, but I've got confused.
I did reply. I didn't see that you saw it, but I did reply with a couple estimates, and I thought it was closer to this time. But yeah, no worries. You got real life is better than streaming, so I hope you had a whatever you're doing. Hopefully you were doing some fun stuff. We're not.
Bro, I was texting on my phone, doing jack shit. That's the worst thing about it. So yeah, swiping a bit on Tinder.
I mean, well, I went through pretty much all the topics. I covered them, but we got a few minutes. What do you want to say? What do you want to talk about? We got.
Propane, sell it all. It's done. It's finished. Crypto's done.
Crypto's done. You're coming in. You're saying that the dream is no more. That's
it. Go and buy TradFi. Go and buy some crap stocks on the internet. Go buy some penny stocks. Nah, I'm joking, man. Like, come on. A bit of a pullback. I mean, we've got this Mount Gox FUD and what's going on. Hey, it might be good. I've been asking the question with a lot of friends today. It's like, do you think that it's going to be more bullish for Ethereum's price? Because obviously the ETF start in July. And with the sales of Bitcoin, do we start to see people kind of mitigate their loss and their risk by starting to move into ETH as a play? That is something that's been on my mind. I've been talking to a few friends about that. Be interested in your opinion, Mr. Max.
I literally, that was the last thing I covered. I wish I would have waited a few minutes. And actually, without further ado, Corey Coast is here. Corey Coast,
what's up? I'm so sorry. Right. What's up, guys? I had to stay late after school. This is the last week of school, so I had to stay an hour late. I was told that.
No worries, man.
At 2:00. What's up, guys?
How you I knew you were going to be late. I knew you were going to be late. Money Gang, I did not know. We got the times mixed up. So literally, Money Gang just got here 5 minutes ago.
I say we got another hour, man. Let's just.
Is that true? Is that true? The hours were mixed up.
Yeah, that is true. Man. This is a special day. Very special day.
Wow. Okay. All right. Well, I'm glad I'm here.
I wish I could go longer, but yeah, I was telling Money Gang I only got a few minutes more. I gotta run in a few minutes. But we were talking about, we can at least cover this one topic that, again, I just covered. But if Bitcoin starts dumping in July, does it go into Ethereum ETF? We got 60% of people so far on the poll say yes. So what do you guys think? Yeah, just in general about Mt. Gox, the dumping we may see, and does it go into Ethereum? Is this the perfect storm? That's what I was saying before you guys showed up. Is this the perfect storm of, all right, Bitcoin dumps, it goes into Ethereum. That's what everyone wants to happen. That's what everyone thinks is going to happen. But now we're seeing stuff actually lead to making us believe it's going to happen. What do you guys think?
Do you want to go first, Corey?
Sure. So what I think is going to happen is this. So the Mt. Gox situation, I've been hearing about Mt. Gox for years, that they're going to sell. Whether that happens all at once or it happens on a consistent time frame or it just happens rather sporadically, depends on the holders. Depends on what they do. I don't think anybody can infer what's going to happen. However, if you remember the Bitcoin ETF, what happened is that when it launched, it was a very short term, I think it was like 2-3 weeks, where it was very bearish. Not very bearish, but like bearish price movement. Everyone expected that the second the ETF was launched, it was run to the races, but really didn't move. But then finally it moved, it went up to like 71 to 72K, and now we're sitting at 60. I think this is a buy the rumor, sell the news event. Once the Ethereum ETF starts trading short term, but I do think that this is going to give a lot of legs for this bull cycle, and I'm curious to see if there is a selling of Bitcoin while there's a prop up of Ethereum. It's because everyone wants Ethereum to pump because they want their altcoins to pump. I ponder if that's going to create a situation where we may see a flippening, even if it's for a day, between Ethereum and Bitcoin. Because I do believe that will happen, even if it's for a short amount of time. It's just a matter of when.
Pretty good summary, man.
Yeah.
I think ETH starts moving against BTC in terms of the ratio. But like you said, it took about approximately a month, anywhere between 2 to kind of 4 weeks, where we didn't really... It was kind of like a buy the rumor, sell the news event with BTC ETF. But I think a lot of people will start to buy up the ETH ETF. I don't think it will have the same inflows that the BTC will have. I think probably 30% of the inflows. But then you have to take into account that 30% of ETH is staked at the moment. So that also has a major effect. And less economic energy is needed to move ETH. The other thing is, it's just like how does the macro play out on what happens with the Fed, the next Fed meetup, because that could create some really severe volatility, especially if they decide to drop rates. I don't know if they will. I think they're going to hold for maybe the next 2 meetups, but I know that the Democrats will put some pressure to try and get interest rates dropped before the election, and all the shenanigans that go on with that. So For me, I've always kind of said that the winter's going to be pretty bullish, and that the summer isn't. Everyone has this like DeFi summer vibe, and they always want like Sultan summer and all of that. It's like, nah, you just need to go and enjoy your summer and actually go out, get a tan, and then like look at your bags later on this year. So that's what I keep saying to people. It's like just chill on it, and it's a good time to pick up, especially when we've seen this FUD. It's a good time to pick up some coins if you want some, but a lot of people are kind of out of fresh capital because it just seems like the liquidity is circling around in all different ecosystems. So we haven't got that kind of fresh capital coming in. We haven't got retail mania coming in just yet. This is good. I think if we think about it, I was speaking to a close friend of mine, and he said it was a white swan event this cycle, the BTC ETF coming so early, and it then doing an all-time high. It was almost like a white swan event. So the fact that we're getting a lot of this negative price action is quite good if you're a 4-year cycle guy and you're like, hey, normally the 4-year cycle ends, it would be September, October of next year. This is quite good to kind of flush that out. But I'm more worried about the end of the year. Like, what's the price of BTC at that point? We'll see.
Yeah. I know, I agree. And I think one of the major things is, like, you bring up the election, like July 11th specifically is a very important day in America right now, because we don't know whether Trump is going to be free. We don't know if Trump's going to be put into prison. We don't. And if that's the case, how does that create a environment in the United States of further uncertainty and further division? And how does that create a macro effect on the economic environment that we already see today? And we're seeing, I guess you could say, uncertainty across the globe. You see what's happening right now with NATO, especially with France positioning troops, to my knowledge, in Ukraine now. So it really begs the question on how the macro can affect this cycle. Will this 4-year cycle continue to go as planned, even if there is, a chaotic election season, or not? And also, bringing this back to PulseChain, how this affects PulseChain. I mean, everyone's hoping that this whole SEC case, July 11th, and July 8th is another important date in the Richard Hardy ecosystem. I think it's the response to the motion of dismissal, correct? If I'm not mistaken. Yeah. So, I wonder how that's going to go, while simultaneously 3 days later, what's going to happen with Trump? And that begs a legitimate question on what those two things will do.
Well, and then we got this Thursday, the debate coming up. I was asking the chat earlier, which one they thought was going to fall asleep first during the debate. What do you guys think? Which one?
And then John Trapper's the one moderating it, to my knowledge.
Jake Trapper?
Is that who's moderating it?
Did you say John Trapper? Is Jake Tapper? Isn't it?
Jake Tapper. Oh my gosh. This is how tired I am, boys. I was like, is that another person? John Trapper? That sounds like a news person. Yeah. No. Yeah, it's going to be literally it's going to be CNN, Joe Biden, and their left-wing cronies all against Trump. So I really do ponder how the debate's going to go. I cannot believe it's Thursday night. I know Trump just came out, which would be very interesting. It came out. I saw it on Raw Alerts right before I got here. It said that Trump was willing to take a drug test with Biden as verifiable proof that Biden's not getting propped up, or even Trump's not getting propped up. So the next 3 weeks are going to be very interesting.
Are we drug testing candidates now?
I love American politics. I know B Root said, why do people who don't live in America talk about American politics? Because it affects the rest of the world, number one.
Yes, it does.
But at the same time, I do love it. I do love the Trump and Biden and that. It's just we've got these two candidates. Well, no, it's the same in the UK. The candidates, we got our election in July, and they're already preparing for war. They're already preparing to go to war with Russia. They're already talking about conscription.
You said UK?
National service. They're already talking about that. They might take your bank account if you do that. We're getting ready. We're gearing up for war. It's kind of crazy. I say this, and then I have arguments with family members and stuff. And I'm like, no, it's not. And I'm like, yeah, they are. They're getting ready for war. It's very obvious. I got friends who have friends in MOD, and they're saying the same thing. So yeah, we're getting ready for that, but I don't know if the current prime minister wants to be in power during that season of when we may be gearing up to go to war. But yes, it's fun. The American political system, I think, is hilarious because it's so corrupt and so crazy, but then it's so obvious as well. It's so like out there. So
I just want them to fight over crypto. That's what I don't want the other fighting. Let's fight over crypto.
Did you see Donald Trump's potentially going to the Bitcoin conference?
Yes, I just saw that a couple of hours ago. He may speak at the Bitcoin conference, which I think is amazing. I mean, the last Bitcoin conference, I think not the Bitcoin conference. Was it Bitcoin conference where it was Max Kaiser, which is just a drugged up Elton John, and Michael Saylor were together? Is that the one where he said "fuck Elon"? Was that the one? Yeah, I'd like to see a more professional Bitcoin conference. I'd like to see Trump there.
I saw RFK at the one last year at Bitcoin.
That would be nice too.
I saw him there. Yeah, it was really cool to see him. I can imagine like if Trump goes there, like that's going to be wow. That's going to be.
Was the last Bitcoin conference where Eric Wall went up there with his outfit?
That was the wizard stuff. That was the one. That was the RFK one. That was last year.
Yeah, I guess
I saw him on stage.
You know, and one again, it's funny you bring up like the UK is getting ready to go to war. It's very indicative that the United States is getting ready to go to war because how do I say this in a very political correct term? Well, I'm just gonna say most of the military ads now are just white men, and not advocating for trannies in the military.
No, don't say that, man. We were already called out by the cabal. I'm already called out.
All right. That's all we got for you today.
Guys. Have they come through the post? Supposedly, I was making secret meetings on boats when I get invited.
Are you serious? What did I miss? What did I miss?
You're in the cabal.
I haven't been active on Twitter.
You're the one. You're the cabal of one, Money Gang. That's what I heard.
No.
I haven't been active on Twitter.
Oh, there's more. Okay.
Me and Randy Hilarski, Hexy bastard. You guys, sometimes I'm honestly, the internet runs wild. I'm just like, what am I even looking at? You guys, some people are absolute muppets.
I don't look at it. Yeah. I don't look at it. I just drink my Bombay chai here. I'm just gonna drink my tea.
It's nice.
You are the leader of the call, man. I can tell already.
Nope. I disavow
the
leadership of
Illuminati symbol somewhere on his t-shirt.
Don't look at see the symbols. You see the symbols here that you can read. You can the message.
There's an upwards triangle and a downwards triangle.
Yeah.
It is nice to see speaking of PulseChain, the SAC address becoming active again. Whatever the case may be, if it's defending the price bottom for PulseX, I don't know. But it's
ratios.
Nice to see. Yeah, exactly. The ratios. That's what I'm assuming, to make the ratios somewhat similar so that PulseX doesn't fall behind Pulse. So I think that's a good thing. I think it's a beneficial thing to see that the SAC address is actually, and I know a lot of people are like, why are you putting the SAC address on blast? And it's like, I'm not putting it on blast. I don't think any of us are putting it on blast. I mean, chain analysis is obvious. So I really do think that it's good that they're defending this bottom, because I don't want to see PulseChain and PulseX go all the way back down to where they were. I mean, they're not far off where they were.
I just see whales making buys on chain. That's all I see. But yeah, 30-second response, Money Gang. We got to wrap up. So 30-second response. Ratios be better. Ratios better now for PulseX.
I'm going to take the controversial opinion. Let it bleed. Let everyone die, and then buy it up if you're going to buy it up. That would have been. I wouldn't have given any of these whinging scumbags on the internet anything. I would have been like, nah, we're going all the way to the bottom. We're going super bloody. Get them all out. Get all the whales out.
I thought I had a pretty fun, exciting stream for the last hour, and you guys just made it look pretty boring after the last 15 minutes. You guys just turned it up. Oh, okay.
No, I'm sorry. I did not know until like 3:30 that this was going to happen. But I was about to leave, and they're like, "Oh, no, you can't."
No worries. 45. I'm glad to have both of you for as much time we had. It worked out. It was fun. Appreciate it. We'll do some more. Have some more time later. Me and Money Gang got to get time zones correct. I literally I can't tell you. I'm like I looked it up. I'm like, I don't know I can tell you how many hours it is from now, but Google doesn't give me good time zone information. I don't know why.
Yeah, and I don't do UTC. I can't understand that shit.
It's difficult because as part of the Cabal network, I'm having to hop around Europe quite a bit. So
it's insane, man. I cannot believe that. Yeah, how they're attacking you. I've seen them do the same thing to me. Whatever.
I haven't seen anything, and I'm glad. Don't tell me about it. Don't want to know. I don't want to know. I don't want to know. I want my day to go peacefully.
I'm tweet it now. RHMax is the cabal. There you go. Go like the tweet.
They can suck my cabals.
Don't you put that on me? Suck my cabals. Nice. All right. Money Game Crypto, Corey Costa, Crypto Coins. What are you guys doing for the rest of the day? What do you want to take us out on?
Going to bed, mate.
To bed? Oh, yeah, that's right. That's right. It's nighttime over there. Not Corey, what are you doing?
I'm going to the doctors and I'm going to LA Fitness and I'm coming home. It's the last week of school, so it's and then I'm off for 11 weeks. So should be able to stream a little bit more, I'm hoping. So
awesome. Yeah, we're still on for Wednesday. Still gonna do Faucet Wednesday?
Yes. If you want to do 5 o'clock on Wednesday, yes, of course.
All right.
Again, I truly apologize about coming late. And I like the Yankee cap, by the way.
Thanks.
So Money Game made it all better. He came I didn't know he was coming late.
Before you came.
And you popped in right before you. It was perfect timing. Perfect time. All right, everyone. That's all we got for you today. Scivive and 5555. We were out.